This is African American History is American History. Welcome. I'm your host, Harlan Kearsley. This program's goal is to foster understanding, promote discussion, and expand knowledge through stories of historical events, bios of unsung heroes, as well as timely and relevant news stories which will paint a vivid picture of the effects of segregation, discrimination, and bigotry on the lives of both blacks and whites. Comparisons will be made between the many racially fractured periods of American history and what's going on right now. Slavery was abolished just 150 years ago. Jim Crow only 50 years ago. Yet stop and frisk, voter ID, stand your ground, income inequality, and a host of other current problems are proof that their detrimental effects continue to be felt, and that the struggle for equal rights for all must continue.
You can never whip these boys if you don't keep you and them separate. I found that out in Birmingham. You've got to keep the white and the black separate.
That is Theophilus Eugene Bull Connor. He was the Commissioner of Public Safety for the city of Birmingham, Alabama during the Civil Rights Movement. That office gave Connor complete control of both the Birmingham Police Department and the Birmingham Fire Department. On May 2nd, 1961, Connor won a landslide election for his sixth term as Commissioner of Public Safety in Birmingham, Alabama. As Commissioner, Connor had administrative authority over the police, fire departments, schools, public health services, and libraries.
Do you think you can keep Birmingham in the present situation of segregation?
I may not be able to do it, but I'll die trying.
On Sunday, May 14th, Mother's Day, the Freedom Riders, civil rights activists who rode interstate buses in segregated southern states to challenge segregation as unconstitutional, arrived in Birmingham. This was after a rough experience in Anson, Alabama, where one of their buses had been firebombed and burned in an act of violence by members of the Ku Klux Klan. A number of Klan members boarded the new Greyhound bus and beat the riders. By the time they reached the terminal in Birmingham, a larger mob of Klansmen and news reporters were waiting for them. The riders and some of the reporters were beaten viciously with metal bars, pipes, and bats. Bull Connor, who knew exactly where and when the Freedom Riders were to arrive, purposely held back his police force. This allowed the Klan time to rampage, unrestrained, for a full 15 minutes. When the police finally did arrive, not a single arrest was made at the scene. Connor blamed the slow police response on many factors, but the most inventive was the one he gave to the press. There were no policemen in sight as the buses arrived because they were all visiting their mothers on Mother's Day. Even the press had trouble buying that one. This is African American History is American History. The tactics Connor used to enforce racial segregation and deny civil rights to black citizens, especially during the Southern Christian Leadership Conference's Birmingham campaign of 1963, made him the international symbol of racism. And he sure lived up to it. Connor infamously directed the use of fire hoses and police attack dogs against peaceful demonstrators, including children. On May 2nd, 1963, during a nonviolent movement led by the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and others to bring attention to the integration efforts of African Americans in Birmingham, Alabama. The Birmingham Police Department beat and arrested 959 children ranging from ages 6 to 18. Connor arrested Dr. King, holding him long enough for King to write his famous Letter from a Birmingham Jail, considered one of the most important documents in the history of the nonviolent struggle for racial equality. This show was written and directed by Harlem Kearsley. Thank you for listening. And remember, none of us can truly embrace the future until we first confront the past. African American History is American History. Copyright H.C. Kearsley, 2016.